Live. Hope you're having a great day. I know I am. I'm on such a roll. Couldn't believe it. Started out and it just like crazy, but good. So, anyways, today's topic is being the better person on LinkedIn to succeed the best. So, really, what does that mean? Well, I found that LinkedIn is really a matter of investing, and then gaining the benefit of what you invested in. Now, it's a long-term game, and basically, you need to build confidence, likability, and trust with people on LinkedIn. Well, when you first come on LinkedIn, you're a stranger in a strange land. And what I did, which I think was pretty smart looking back, is I decided to be a good citizen in this new land and basically just see what everybody was doing, learn as much as I could before I really applied myself, and then moved on to commenting before I moved on to posting. Now, what I realized won the day is providing more service than other people and providing more service than the recipient would have expected. And anytime you over serve and you provide extra value, you stand out. If you can do that consistently, you stand out even more. And really, that's the key. How do you separate from the crowd? There's 810 million people on LinkedIn. You know, there's a saying, be who you are because everybody else has been taken. Well, that's what you're supposed to be on LinkedIn, is who you are. And hopefully you're bringing the better you to the table. So, you know, it's no different if you went to a really cool, exciting party or meeting. You'd want to show up as best as you could. You'd dress up, you'd put on your best smile, you'd be working the room. You try to leave a positive impression by how you provide introduction and conversation. And that's the same thing on LinkedIn, but instead of being in a room, you know, you're on a platform. The beauty of being on a platform, it doesn't take much to get to it, and you don't need a special invitation. So when you're here, the best thing you can possibly do is really show yourself for who you want to be and who you hope other people see you as. Now, that's not to say you should have a second persona. What it's to say is you should kind of buff up the persona you have and really be ready, be prepared, and present a positive attitude. I think people get attracted by your music before they hear your words, you know, and over time, you get top of mind awareness, and that's when things start clicking in. You know, so what can you do to be the better person? Well, look at people who are doing things that deserve recognition, admiration, and respect. You know, a key takeaway that you can have today is basically being able to, uh, assert yourself in a more positive way with more activity, more consistency. It's just more until it gets better. So it's a quantity game, and then quality starts mixing in with experience and through interaction. And I think that's so important. The key takeaway I was mentioning is recognizing people. At one point, I was tagging 100 people every post, and it was creating enormous activity, interaction. And LinkedIn was looking at that as saying, hey, there's got to be relevancy here. There's so many people who are interacting, but the beauty of it is it was relevant interacting. If all you do is tag 100 people and they say great post, it's not going anywhere. It's just among your group. But if you can expand it through their networks, get them to support and be an advocate for your post, now you've got an army working for you, and that could be extremely powerful. You know, I've gotten almost 10 million views in the last 3 years. I posted every day since 3 years ago, actually. And now I'm doing LinkedIn Lives every day for the last 6 weeks. So really, if you want to up your game, up your activity, because the more you do, the more you'll learn, the faster you'll learn, and you get into a role where it's just a routine that you enjoy doing, because if you do it in the proximity of every day or every other day, you're really fresh from the day before. If you wait a week or a month, there's no stickiness to it, and that's definitely the same impression your audience is going to get. So if you're not happy with your results, you can do a lot to change it and be where you want to be sooner than you think. I've created all kinds of programs. If you go to doncohenconsulting.com and you check out what I'm doing now. I've got a game plan. I've got basically, I've got masterminds that I'm doing. I'm doing something with Mike Weiss on Tuesdays and Fridays at 2 p.m. Eastern time, another mastermind. Love to have you join in any way you can. I really appreciate you coming on the broadcast and learning as much as I can share with you. I try to get really relevant, up-to-date experience information to share with you. And really the key, again, the tip that I'm trying to get to is not only is tagging great because it recognizes people, it notifies people that you tagged them, which makes them aware of your post, and they don't have to kind of hope to see you in a feed that they may not be looking at. It's much better to meet on purpose, for purpose, than by accident and hope something happens. So really you want to build more continuity, consistency, but here's the big takeaway. If you really want to get somebody's attention, build a post around them. I put posts that are just around an individual. A lot of times it'll be referring to a conversation we had or some experience that I'm really impressed with and believe I can bring value to my network by supporting them. That is so important because how many times are you featured in a post? Hardly ever. I'm talking about the whole post. Second thing is how important is third-party validation and confirmation. When you talk about yourself, people know you're talking about you. There's naturally a bias, obviously. But when you talk about somebody else, it's pure altruism if you do it properly. And when they see that, they feel even more obligated and are more inclined to want to help you. So the key is to build trust, confidence, likability, do things for others before you figure you're going to get anything for yourself. It's really like, getting things stirring, softening things up, opening things up. And once you have that in a position where people are opened up, they're trusting, then you invite them to a phone call or a Zoom. And at that point, you've got a chance to now be one-on-one, real time, and you've got a background, you've got experience. Keep helping people. It's a lot of fun. If only one person can eat, let somebody eat the whole meal versus sitting there waiting for the second to show up. And I think the key is once you find out that doing more and better for others is actually doing more and better for yourself, it's an easy thing. The difference is someone has to take action first. So being proactive is important. Why waiting for something, may or may not happen. While it's happening or not happening, make something happen, create something. The results you get are a factor of what you do, how well you do it, how often you do it, who you do it with. And that's the key, is getting all your, piles in a good position where your target, and that's one grouping. Your messaging, and that's one grouping. You know where and how you want to do it. LinkedIn allows you to do posts, LinkedIn Lives, which I think are superior to anything else. It's a great opportunity to get out there to a lot of people, and people can see you, people can hear you, people can relate to you. When you're doing a superficial black and white text post, it's not that exciting. It gets lost in the crowd. And how do you top it? The nice thing about talking directly, sharing video, is really about, being relevant, being current, and being supportive. Everybody needs a helping hand. LinkedIn's a very lonely game. It's a long game. People are short on patience. The winners are the ones who persevere, who continue to make small gains consistently over time that compound into big gains. And, once you can get, it's like a snowball going up a hill. Seems like it takes forever. On the other side, you can't stop it. This is an opportunity to take advantage of a huge opportunity that LinkedIn's providing because you're getting on the front end. They have to make winners pretty soon of people who are publishers and content creators. Why? Because no one's going to play the game if no one's winning. And if people are winning and they're doing well and they can duplicate it through others, then LinkedIn will probably find a way to charge for it once it's already in place and they're benefiting. So everybody's really at the front end of something with a tailwind instead of a headwind. And it really comes down to who you work with, how do you work, how hard do you work, how often do you work, how much do you evolve, are you teachable, are you going to YouTube and Google and seeing what's relevant to their subjects? Every time I have a question, you think of, should I ask a person? I say, well, who do I know? And what's the chances they're going to know what I need to know? So I go to Google, I go to YouTube. Within an hour, I can watch 12 videos of 4 or 5 minutes each, and I cover pretty much 80% of the authorities out there who have published a video. Google, same thing. In an hour and a half, you can do so much front end as far as your education. It's like the Wheel of Fortune. Sometimes it's important to buy some vowels before you solve the puzzle. Get right before you do right. Do right, and you'll see how things come back to you. So, I really enjoy these broadcasts. I hope you do too. Share it with others. Go to doncohenconsulting.com. Actually, there's a Save 20 coupon that gets you 20% of all my services. So really appreciate, listening, sharing, comment, reach out to my profile. I'm very accessible. I want to help. I need to make more successes out of more people to be more successful myself. So anyways, with that said, have a lovely day. Hope it's a successful day. Take advantage of the tip. Recognize people, support people, be the better person to be the bigger success on LinkedIn. And I'll see you at the top. Thanks so much.